Welcome to Life Aligned Leadership, the podcast where we prioritize what matters and execute with confidence. Each episode delivers quick, practical insights to help you lead more effectively and take a stress-reducing moment for yourself. Our mission? To help you become an uncommon leader of your work and life. So let's take a deep breath and rock on. Hello and welcome to the Life Aligned Leadership Podcast, episode number 3. I am Julie Quinne. I am your host. And today we're going to go behind the scenes a bit and get some insight into why I created Life Aligned Leadership. This is a talk you're going to hear that I gave recently at the Women Empowering Women Conference that was put on. It was a great program put on by the North Shore Women Connect up in the North Shore in Massachusetts. Excellent organization, by the way. So if you are in the area, do check them out. In this talk, I share some background of my own personal experience with things like great professional success and devastating burnout and other things in between. And at the end, I share 3 actions that are really pivotal to success. They were certainly pivotal to mine, and I hope you'll get some benefit out of it yourself. So without further ado, here is that talk. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you on the other side. My name is Julie Quinne. I am the founder and owner of Uncommon Consulting and the creator of the framework called Life Aligned Leadership. And what I do is I help leaders to prioritize what matters most and execute on those things with confidence. The reason I do that is because it marries all of my professional experience with all of my personal experience, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about both in this story. This story begins in 2009, and that was when the big financial meltdown happened in the country and beyond. And I was the vice president of human resources for a great company at that time. And unfortunately, because of the financial meltdown, I needed to lay myself off and 50 of my dear colleagues. So that was tough, being laid off, and at the same time having a husband who was a stay-at-home dad to our 3 children, ages 9, 7, and 5. Big mortgage, 2 car payments, no savings whatsoever, 15 weeks of severance. I thought now is a good time for me to just become a consultant. I'd never known how to run my own business or how to consult, but I figured how hard could it be? I actually managed to do that pretty well. I built a consulting business with the help of some amazing women colleagues. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Fast forward 5 years, 2014, my husband and I decide to get a divorce. Long and sordid story that we will not go into today. But because he was the stay-at-home dad, we decided that the kids should be with him full time. We also decided, I decided that I should sell my company and go back into corporate so that I could provide for 2 households and paid child support because I was the primary provider. And that was fine. I found a great job. Vice President of Talent and Culture for an excellent company in Quincy. I had kind of planned to move to Quincy, but I was in West Boylston in the Worcester area, and I hadn't got around to moving yet, so I had a long commute to Quincy, but a great job, great salary. I was making $250,000 a year, which is amazing. I had really made it, again, thanks to the wonderful, amazing women colleagues. And that is also not what I want to talk about today. So that was 2014. In 2015, all 3 children came back to live with me. Now this was the first time I was a mom because my husband was the stay-at-home dad for all that time, and now they're all back with me. Again, long and sordid story we won't cover today. But now they're back with me. I have now 3 middle school age children. I am a single mom with a big job and a big commute, 3 hours a day. It was a lot. That was 2015. In 2016, my youngest came down with a mysterious condition that prevented her from walking. That was hard. In 2017, she was admitted to Boston Children's Hospital for a rehabilitation hospital stay of 7 weeks long. And so my commute became drive my child to Waltham, and then drive to Quincy to my job, and then back to Waltham, and then back to Worcester for 7 weeks. The good news is she walked out of that rehabilitation program. 2018, I woke up one morning in the middle of an intersection with horns blaring all around me. I had fallen asleep at a stoplight, and that was embarrassing. I was crying at meetings. I was drinking heaping glasses of Pinot Grigio at the end of the day so I could relax and just go to sleep. I was in the middle of a town hall meeting at our company speaking to all of our employees, and suddenly was unable to remember what I was talking about, why I was there, what I would say or do next. I was shaking uncontrollably, so I just stopped in the middle of a sentence and sat down, and my CEO came over to me and said, "Are you okay? I'm worried about you." And I said, "I'm worried about me too." I was out of work for 3 months on a leave of absence while we tried to figure out what was going on with my brain and body. That was 2019. I'm sorry, that might have been 2018. In 2019, my child went back into the hospital, and this time for 11 weeks, this time in Providence. So Worcester to Providence to Quincy to Providence to Worcester for 11 weeks in 2019. A little later that year, I got into an argument with one of my colleagues that so upset me, again, story for another day, but so upset me, I burst into tears. I was shrieking at him at the top of my lungs, throwing F-bombs through my phone. Thankfully, it didn't hit him. That would have caused me some other different kinds of problems. And I stormed out of my office, past, I don't know, untold numbers of employees. And let me remind you, I was vice president of talent and culture. So this wasn't a good look. So that was hard. Needless to say, I left that job shortly thereafter. But I don't want to talk about that either. What I want to talk about today is the pivot that changed my life. The pivot that was putting myself first. Because that's when I started that shift. Saying no, period. Asking for help. Getting enough sleep. Not rage drinking at the end of the night just to try to go to sleep. Deciding what was most important to me, what were my priorities, and prioritizing those things. That pivot changed my life. And now I am happy, I am at peace, I am serene, I have a wonderful relationship with my 3 kids. I go camping with them on the ground in a tent. I go to music festivals. I sing at open mic. I ride horses. These are things that other person who was doing everything right and making sure everything got done and looking like this, even though I was having a mental breakdown inside, none of those things would that person have taken the time to do. And this person does all of that and works when I want, where I want, and why I want. It has changed my life. So I want to invite everybody who's here today, investing in yourselves, to do 3 things. 1 is find out what matters most to you and prioritize that. Put yourself first. 2, find yourself an excellent therapist. If you don't have an excellent therapist, go find one. It's okay to move from one to the other. If you have 1, maybe consider 2. Can't have enough good therapists. And finally, cultivate relationships with amazing women colleagues. They are the reasons that I got the network that I did, that helped me get the jobs I needed to get, that helped me create and sustain my business, and helped me get through the mental and physical breakdown that I experienced because of how I was not putting myself first. And be an amazing woman to somebody who needs it. So thank you guys for coming. I hope you found that informative and insightful, especially those 3 action items. The value of the word no, the value of having a trusted confidant to confide in and to get feedback, and the value of having amazing colleagues. All right, that is it for this episode. I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, be uncommon. A great next step is to join the Uncommon community, a place to connect live in community with other uncommon leaders for real-time guidance, support, and camaraderie. Click the URL in the show notes. Until next time, be uncommon.